Hey everybody, my name is Golem Plays and thank you for joining me for yet another video. Today's going to be just a short little clip rather, or like maybe like a 2-minute, 3-minute video of me just taking a look at all of the Assassin's Creed 4 the Creed event weapon sets that I acquired through the entire event. I was pretty much just grinding through the last few weeks of the event to get all of the weapon sets of each hero. And yeah, we're just going to be looking at each one of them. Yeah, let's just hop into it real quick. We're going to be starting off with the Knights, then we're going to be going with the Vikings, then we're going to be going with the Samurais, then the Wulins. Now, of all of the different heroes that we have, none of the newest ones that have come out recently got any. So that includes Black Prior, Warmonger, Griffin, Jormungandr, Hitokiri, Kyoshin, Zanihyu, or Pirate. So none of those got any new weapon sets. It's just the original heroes from each faction that we got. So yeah, let's without further ado, let's just go into Warden. So for the weapon, here it is. This weapon is called Altair's Devotion. Well, the entire weapon itself. Let me see if I can get the entire weapon. There we go. All right, so um, it's a really good looking blade. I don't think Altair actually has this blade itself in the original Assassin's Creed game. I haven't actually played that game, but if you guys want to watch me play that, just let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, I really like the hilt and how it has the Assassin's Creed symbol on it. The little hawk at the bottom of the hilt is really good looking too. I don't know if that's a hawk or not. It looks like a hawk. But yeah, I mean, just the shape of it, it looks like it has a beak there or whatever. But no, I guess it's not a hawk. I don't like how the blade itself has all the blemishes on it and it looks kind of rusted. But I mean, hey, you can only get so much from these events. So yeah, I did max out the event pass. I did get everything from that entire event pass. So yeah. Anyway, so this is Altair's Devotion sword. It's a really good looking sword. It's got to be among my favorite designs for Warden's entire weapon sets. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it for Warden, Altair's Devotion. All right, so moving on to Peacekeeper, and as you can see, Peacekeeper is only rep 1 for me. I don't really play the assassins that much, but here you go. Shay's Reward. That's what this one's called. So let me go into the entire weapon overview. You can't really see it that well. I might do like, I'm gonna probably just zoom in ever so slightly. But yeah, so the sword itself it's really nice. I don't like the hilt, how it has like little balls on the end of each side, but I do like the colors, and I do like that the engravings on the sword itself. It's really nice. The dagger too. Um, the little dagger is nice too. I like how the engravings match the one for the sword. And I don't mind the hilt on this one actually. It's actually kind of cool. So the guard on the actual sword itself, I don't like how it has like those little ball joints at the end. It's just my personal preference. I don't like that. So for that, I'm probably gonna give this sword or this set about like a 7 out of 10. That's what I'm gonna say, a 7 out of 10 for this weapon kit. I didn't even rank Warden's set, so for Warden's set, I guess I'll give that a 8 out of 10. Uh, and here is Centurions. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of Centurions. It's just not my favorite design. The sword itself, it looks really dull, like it's not that sharp. Uh, but yeah, the guard, not the biggest fan of the guard either. Uh, yeah, the weapon for that is called Victorious Hercules set. Um, but yeah, no, not the biggest fan of it. Uh, I don't like the weathering effect that it has on the hilt, like at the bottom where there's that little ball shaped thing. Yeah, I don't like that weathering. Not the best set for Centurion, so I'm gonna give this one a 3. I gotta be honest, a 3 out of 10 for Centurion set. So yeah, it's a 3 out of 10 for Centurion. Now Gladiator. Not the biggest fan of that either. I really do like the actual trident itself. I like how it has that like kind of gold tint to it at the top. It's really nice. The shaft itself is also really nice. I like how it has like a shade of blue in the middle, or at the top of it, I should say. But the shield, it's not bad. The engraving, you can barely see the actual shield itself, but it's not bad. Not my favorite set, but it's not bad. It's better than Centurion's. Not quite as good as Peacekeeper still, so I'll give this one about a 5 out of 10, average. Now, moving on to Lawbringer. I gotta say, I really do like Lawbringer's set. Last Mage Spike, or Last Mage, that's the name of the set. I like the spike itself. I like that little eagle, or what it looks kind of like a phoenix almost, but I don't think it is. Yeah, I like the gold accents on the actual entire set itself. I really like the shaft. It's really nice. I like the gold accents on it. I like the silver and the grip at the bottom of the shaft itself. How it's kind of like fabric or some kind of uh, thatch. The actual axe itself is really, really nice too. I like the engravings at the center of the axe. That kind of almost owl kind of looking thing. For Lawbringer, I'm going to give it about, I'd say a 9 out of 10. Not perfect, but it's really, really good. I prefer it over Warden, since Warden I gave an 8 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 for Lawbringer. Moving on to Conqueror. Conqueror, that set has to be among my favorites. I really love the shield. Here, let me take the embossing off of that. Or the embossing, I don't know how you pronounce it, but let me take that off of the shield itself. That's a really nice shield. I like the curvature of it. I love how it's actually bi-X shield. It's a really nice shield. Alright. But this set's called bi-X Fury. I love the gold accents on this, on the handle. And then that kind of like almost desert adobe kind of finish on the grip itself. It's really nice. I really like it. And oh man, the head, the actual chains, the head of it, and the head of the weapon. Oh, it's perfect. That's awesome. Like that is awesome. Parts of it is like, no, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This one's nearly perfect. It's really, really cool. I love this entire set. It's awesome. So I'm gonna give Conquerors, and I feel like I'm being very generous with Conqueror, but yeah, I'm gonna give Conquerors a 10 out of 10. I love the shield. Really love the shield. I love the eagle on the shield too, and the just everything about this set is just awesome. Okay, now on to the Vikings. Raider. Starting off with Raider, one of my highest reps. Third highest to be exact. Um, right off the bat, not the biggest fan of the axe. I'm not the biggest fan. It's called Havana's Brute, or Havana's Brutes set for Raider. Not the biggest fan of the axe because it just looks really weathered and old and just rusted. I love that it has the Assassin's Creed insignia or symbol on the middle of the axe. The spike is cool. It does look like it's very, very sharp. So I do love the axe, but just the axe itself, it's just like really weathered and old. I don't like that. The shaft, I really like the shaft because the wooden and the engravings on the middle and on the near to the bottom of the shaft, that they look awesome. I think it's awesome. Not to mention the top of it, it's really cool. Um, Now the pommel, I don't like it. It's too bland. Also weathering, kind of rusted a little bit in some areas. I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's not my favorite. But here's the whole weapon right here. It's a nice weapon, just the axe head and the pommel, not my favorites. Uh, the only thing I do really like about this is the fact that it has the Assassin's Creed insignia on the top of the entire weapon and the shaft. So not amazing, not my favorite. So I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 10. I feel like I'm being very brutal with this one, but hey, I mean, I gotta be honest with you guys. It's not my favorite one, so I'm gonna go with a 4 out of 10. Now moving on to Warlord. Let's see over here. I do like Warlord set. Again, not the biggest fan of the weathering. The shield itself, I love the pattern. Well, not the pattern, the engravings on it. They're really nice. The sword, like the blade right here itself, oh, it's awesome. I love the engravings on it. I like that little the thing going on along the entire middle of it, but it is rusted. It is rusted, and I'm not the biggest fan of the rusted finish. The guard is awesome. The guard and the entire hilt itself, it's really nice. I love how it's gold. I love the engravings that it has on the actual handle, and the ballpoint at the bottom. I don't mind it. It's really nice. Oh, I like the handle for the shield too. I like how it's just one solid spike, or one solid, handle going through the entire shield. It's really nice. And I like the gold accents too. They're really nice. But yeah, for Warlord, I'm gonna give him about a 7 out of 10. I feel like I'm being generous too. I'll be generous, yeah. 7 out of 10 for Warlord. Anyway, Valkyrie. I love Valkyrie's weapon. The spear, oh man. That spearhead, Aya's Resolve. It's really nice. I love the spearhead. It's awesome. The shaft too. All that gold and the bottom of the shaft, that spike at the end. Oh man. And I love the grip at the top too, how it's kind of like sand, or kind of like that same Adobe almost finish that Conquerors had. Oh, it's awesome. The shield, I love the pattern on the shield. Or no, not the pattern, but the engravings on the shield. Oh man. I'm not the biggest fan of the indents that it has on each side of the shield, but I love the gold on it. I love how one of the arm holsters is pure gold and the other one's leather that you can strap on yourself. It's nice. I'm a really big fan of the weapon itself. The shield is not the greatest, but the weapon, awesome. I'll give Valkyrie set about 9 out of 10. I'll give her a 9 out of 10. Yeah. Moving on to Berserker. I have mixed feelings about Berserker's set. The handles right here at the bottom, I love how in the middle of it, right just above the handles, there's an Assassin's Creed logo. I love that. That's awesome. I'm a big fan of Assassin's Creed. The axe heads, not the best in my opinion, because they're kind of like with Wardens and most of the other weapon sets. It's weathered and they look old and almost rusted. I'm not a big fan of that. Not perfect. The left head is a little bit better. Still kind of rusted, still kind of weathered. Anyway, so for Berserker, I'd give Berserker a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Berserker. Alright, moving on to Highlander. I like Highlander's greatsword. It's really nice. I like the engravings along the sword itself. I love the hilt, or the guard, and the handle and hilt itself. I love how it has the Templar symbol at the bottom of it. The leather strapping that goes along the hilt itself. Awesome. The guard, the engravings, and the way it's shaped in general. Just awesome. And the actual blade itself. Man, just awesome. Just awesome. Not my favorite still. My favorite is still Conquerors. But this entire set, it's just great. It's awesome. Another 9 out of 10. So, yeah. 9 out of 10 for Highlander. Now on to Shaman. This one is called the Revolution Liberation set. I love it. I love it. This axe right here is Connor's axe down to the entire set. I mean, the dagger, I'm not sure about the dagger, but the hatchet, I think it's a near exact replica of Connor's hatchet that he uses in Assassin's Creed 3. Just everything about this is so nostalgic and just awesome. The blade, I don't know if Connor uses a blade shaped like this, but the blade's not bad. I love the gold accents on it. I love the engravings on the actual blade itself. This entire set's awesome. So I'm gonna give, and I'm being generous with Shaman. I'm going to give Shaman a 10 out of 10 just because of personal bias. But if I'm going to take my bias out of the equation, I'm going to say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 taking my bias out of it, but with bias, 10 out of 10. Now, just to be clear, guys, these are my own personal rankings. You can rank these sets uh, however way you wish. I don't care. This is just my own personal preference. But anyway, that's it for the Vikings. We're moving on to the Samurais now, and we are starting off with Kensei. This one's called Templar Pirate Set. For the blade itself, I like it, but I'm not a big fan about the painted gold on it. I don't like that in particular. I love the uh, the handle and the hilt. I love that. I love how it's wrapped in that kind of leathery uh, finish, and then the pommel of it at the base. I love the engravings at the base of the pommel, and then the guard itself. It's really good looking. I love the engravings. I like the color of it. I'm not a big fan of how it's golded, like that kind of. Oh, it's not even gold. It's kind of like a sandish, like beige. Well, I'm not a big fan of that, but I mean, it's not a bad set at all. I mean, I like it. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. So I'm gonna rate Kensei's 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10. I think that's a good ranking for it. 6 out of 10 for Kensei. Moving on to Shigoki. Among one of my favorite sets. The Bayek's Borders set. This weapon set, among one of my favorites. Not a 10 out of 10. Not like Conqueror. I love the coloring on it. I love how it's kind of like reddish, orangish, kind of. I love the handle. That's awesome. The engravings on it, awesome. As well as on the head itself, the engravings for that are awesome too. I love the gold accents that it has going along the actual, and the spikes going along the actual weapon itself. I love that. Looks cool. Oops. And then the pommel. I love the little hexagons that it has along the actual weapon itself, like on right here at the pommel and on the handle. I love that. The engravings are cool. Um, and the pommel, I like how it's kind of like a ring, and it's made out of pure gold, weathered a little bit, but I mean, I don't really mind that in this case because it's gold. Uh, but yeah, for Shigoki, I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10, but I will give it a solid 8 out of 10, almost 9 out of 10. It's a really good weapon set. I really love it, but I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's just shy of a 9 out of 10, so I'm gonna give it a high 8 out of 10 for Shigoki's. Moving on to Nobushi. As you can see, I don't really. Oh my god. Let's turn it around. um, but yeah, the weapon, awesome. I love the gold on it. It's called Serape Serpent set. I love the handle. The handle is awesome. The coloring on the shaft is awesome. But the coloring right there on the middle of the shaft itself, along with the gold and the gray, kind of almost gunmetal gray um, leather that it has at the top of the shaft, oh, awesome. And then the guard, just perfect, just awesome. I don't play Nobushi enough. I don't play her that much, but I really love the weapon set that she has for the Creed event. Now, I'll just even prove it to you. This is the For the Creed. It says right here, unlocked by scavenging during the For the Creed event. Serape Serpent Guard is what it's called. So yeah, there you have it. For Nobushi, I think I'm going to give, I'm going to give her a 10 out of 10 actually. Yeah, I really love the coloring. I really love the gold, the gunmetal strapping around the top of the guard, or not the guard, around the top of the shaft, as well as the kind of almost opal colors that it has along the shaft itself, the gold accents, all of it just perfect. This weapon is just awesome. This entire weapon set, awesome. So for Nobushi, I'm going to give her a solid 10 out of 10. Moving on to Orochi. Now, Orochi, I think Orochi's is awesome. Like, no personal bias. I just love the gold. I just love the gold on the blade and the gold on the hilt, as well as the gold on the shaft. Not the shaft, the guard. Just perfect. And my favorite part about this entire set is the guard is shaped like a bunch of Assassin's Creed symbols going along the entire guard. It's just perfect. awesome. And then the gold accents on the hilt, that kind of like almost crocodile pattern leather right there in the middle of the, as you, if you can see right there, and the fact that on the bottom of the hilt it's kind of like another half ring right there. It's just perfect. This entire thing. I love the gold accents. I love the golden blade. I love the Assassin's Creed symbols along the entire guard, and the fact that it's gold. Just awesome. Just perfect. Like just awesome. Another 10 out of 10 for the samurais. Let's move on to Shinobi. Another character I don't play that much. Another weapon set that I'm really loving. The Tutankhamun set. I love the handles. I love how it has that almost snake skin pattern. No, it's not a snake skin pattern. It's more like a lizard skin pattern on the handle. If you can tell, if you can see right there. It's kind of like a lizard pattern right there. I love the gold accents. I love the blue coloring. I love this the pharaoh's head right here at the top of the right head, and on the left head, I think that's awesome. The kind of like the gems, the blue gems in the top, in the middle of the top of the head, just perfect. Just all the colors. The blades themselves, again, another case of kind of like Raider's axe head or Warden's blade, just like a washed, kind of weathered, rusted blade. Not a big fan of that. I love the gold lining that it has in the middle of it, and just how it's kind of like on the left head, it's kind of like a wavy kind of sword, or not sword, but blade. Um, and on the right head, again, look at, you can see more of the rust on this one, along the actual gold piece that it has on the side too, and it's on both sides. Um, but yeah, I like how it's kind of like serrated. It's cool. It's cool. Again, for the for the handles, I love that kind of lizard skin pattern right there. The gold accents, awesome. The pharaoh's head on the top of the right hand handle, or the right head, awesome. The opals or gems on the left head, awesome. Gold accents through the entire weapon, just awesome. Just that weathered kind of rusted effect on the blades. It's a shame. I don't like it, but hey, it is what it is. You can't get it perfect. So I'm gonna give Shinobi's a 7 out of 10 for Shinobi. Anyway, on to Aramusha. For Aramusha's weapons, kind of basic for the blades. I like them, but this looks like real silver, whereas the blades on Shinobi's set look like steel or metal. These look like silver, and I do like the effect that like the kind of, if you can see the markings on the sword or on the blade itself, I like them. My favorite part of this entire set is if you go to the guards, look at that. Assassin's Creed symbol on either side of the actual guard and on either side of the blade. You can see, and you can see the engravings on the actual blade a little bit better. I don't know if that's like dried, like some kind of dried substance or something like that. It looks more like engravings to me, but the on this gold part right here, just perfect, just awesome. Not a big fan of the hilts, just kind of basic. And I don't know what that texture is. If you can see, like on the insides of the wrapping, I think that might be another lizard, but I could be wrong. If you guys know what kind of skin that is, let me know in the comments. But yeah, the set's cool, specifically for the Assassin's Creed insignia on each of the guards. But other than that, not really much to talk about for this weapon. I'll give Aramusha's a 6 out of 10, and that's me being generous. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for Aramusha. Now, moving on to Tiandi. Now, I really like Tiandi's weapon set. Just the blade, all that gold, and the Chinese markings too at the base of the sword. The pattern on the sword itself, how it's kind of like engraved, like the actual engraving that goes throughout the entire sword itself. It kind of looks indented. The gold on it, just perfect. I love the hilt too, the green gems in there, and the silver with the black actual hilt itself, and the red fabric that runs along the hilt itself. The ribbon too, just a nice color. The red at the bottom of the ribbon, the pattern on the actual ribbon itself, the brown and the gold accents. It's just awesome. And I love, absolutely love. If you can see at the bottom of the base, you'll see it better on the ribbon itself. But on the bottom of the base, you see like a half circle with a blue gemstone in the middle of the half circle. Awesome. Another 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Now we go to jangjun. Another one of my favorites. I love the blade itself. The snake on it. I don't like the weathering on the blade. I just don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't like weathering and rusty, like finishes to some of these blades. It does look good in some parts, like as you can see on the actual sharp part itself. It's just pure silver right there. The only thing is in the middle of the blade where you can see all the weathering and the scratches and all that. It's normal, I guess. I do like it, just I'm not a big fan of the rust, but hey, it is what it is. I love the snake that runs along the blade itself. It's awesome. The blade itself, the curvature, all the spikes, like at the back of it kind of reminds me of the Chaos blades from God of War. Kratos' blades. Of course, they're not the same color, but the shape and the curvature of them, they kind of remind me of that. Just like kind of like warped a little bit. Am I crazy, or is that a Assassin's Creed symbol at the top, right in the middle of the, almost at the, like at the base of the blade? You can see it looks like kind of a crown, and in the middle is a Assassin's Creed symbol. Oh man, that's awesome. Anyway, the shaft I think is awesome. Like the red or orange kind of wood that it uses, or bamboo, I guess. No, I don't think bamboo can be red or orange, but the wood that it uses is really nice. I love the gold accents, and at the top of the blade, or at the top of the blade too, you can see the kind of gold accents that it has. And the spike, again, kind of like that weathered, rusted finish on the actual steel section of it. Not my favorite, but I like how the snake kind of turns into like almost like a Medusa looking person. Just love the engravings. I love the gold accents on the entire weapon itself. I'll give this one a 8 out of 10. Alright, moving on to Shaolin. I was going to say Shinobi, but Shaolin. Uh, this entire set, I really like it. I love what is that, a toucan? It's called Pharaoh's Curse, this set. I don't know if that's a toucan or if that's some kind of other bird, maybe a crane. If you guys know the name of this bird or what kind of bird it is, let me know in the comment section. But the top is nice. The hilt itself, it's awesome. I love the silver and the gold accents, and then the red parts of wood, it looks like, on the handles. Like at the top and at the bottom, I really love that. And then nothing much for the bottom, is just the same thing, just upside down. It's really cool looking weapon. I think I'm gonna give Shaolin's weapon I think an 8 out of 10. I don't want to be too generous. I think I'll give him an 8 out of 10 for Shaolin. Yeah, an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Okay, Nusha. I think Nusha's weapons are really cool. Just look at all that gold. I just think that's awesome. The engravings along the hooks themselves, that's awesome. I love the the spikes that run along the top of the hook itself. The handles, I think, are awesome too. And also that Assassin's Creed insignia on the one side of the handle, just perfect. The curvature of the handles too, awesome. This handle right here is blackwood. The spikes at the bottoms, I think those are cool too. I love the engravings. I love the fact that it's gold, not cold, gold. Um, and then this other one right here, if you guys can see, this is kind of like red wood instead. I don't know if it's wood or if it's just like some kind of wrapping that they use. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I love how this one's red and then this one's black. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for Nusha. I think I'll give Nusha 9. No, I don't want to do a 9 out of 10. I'll give her an 8 out of 10. I don't want to be too generous with Nusha. But yeah, 8 out of 10. I think that's pretty cool for Nusha. Yeah, I like her set. I'm gonna give her an 8 out of 10. But yeah, that does it for my rankings on the video on each of the weapon sets for all of the heroes who received weapon sets. Again, none of the newest heroes from Black Prior all the way down to Pirate had any sets for the Creed event. Um, so just quickly, I'll go through the ones that didn't have them again. That being Black Prior, Griffin, Warmonger, Jormungandr, Hitokiri, Kyoshin, Janhu, and Pirate. None of these people, or none of these heroes, had a weapon set that had any correlation with before the Creed event that just passed. But yeah, there's my rankings on each of the weapon sets for each of the heroes from the For the Creed event. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more of my content, and comment down below if you have any helpful suggestions or if you just want to talk to me about anything cool to say. But until the next video, well, I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Take care, guys.